What's up everyone, this is Cassie from Passive Passion Online Income coming to you from Mumbai. Yes, Mumbai, my city. As you can see, right in the background is Gateway of India. Today's video is basically going to be all about saving and investing. Alright, the importance of saving, but at the same time, something which is more important is investing your money and ensuring that your money keeps growing. Alright, so more on that after a short little intro. Alrighty, so welcome back. I'm here in my apartment in Mumbai, and as I was saying, today's video is basically going to be all about the topic of saving and investing. Alright, a very important topic which I should have spoken about, and I have actually in some of my videos which I've done in the past. I guess it was last year, where I was talking about the importance of investing in particular, but today I'm going to touch on the subject of saving as well, and at the same time tell you what exactly is more important and how you guys need to actually balance out your savings and investment portfolio. All right, so ready to get started? Okay, so let's start. So first thing first, you guys need to understand is, although there would be some stalwarts which you may come across in your life who would tell you that saving is more important, all right, you need to save money and ensure that you've got lots and lots of savings so that you don't have to struggle a lot in life, so that you don't have to depend on anyone, and your savings is going to take care of all the necessary requirements. Now my take on that is slightly different. Savings is important, however it's more important to invest your money. It's more important to invest your money in the right vehicles so that it continues to grow and it continues to make you more money. All right, now if you are smart enough, if you are wise enough, you know what exactly I'm talking or referring to. All right, let me give you some classic examples. Okay, real estate investment. All right, it's one of my favorite investments when it comes to investing my money, apart from investing my money in fixed deposits, hedge funds, agro farming, my shipping containers, which I've spoken about in some of the previous videos. But one thing good about real estate investing is that your money is invested, it's safe, it's invested in a tangible asset, all right, which is gonna continue bringing you money for generations if you take care of that property well, if you take care of that asset well, and if you're gonna teach your upcoming generation, that'll be your kids, your children, to take care of that property in the same manner that you have been taken care of, right? So these things are very important, okay? And the good thing about real estate property is that it gives you passive income, all right? You don't have to toil hard, you don't have to struggle hard, okay? Once you've got a property, now like this apartment where I'm staying right now, okay? If I had to, let's say, get hold of a property management company and tell them that, listen, I want this apartment to be rented, all right? Ensure that I get this much amount of money deposited into my respective bank account every month, all right? They're going to tell me what exactly is the market rents that is being charged for a similar property like that, and if I do agree to the quotation that they give me, all right, we have a deal. So contracts are made between me, the owner of the property, and the tenant to whom we intend to give the property on rent, and that's it. So from there on, the tenant gets to stay in the property, and the property management company is going to ensure that they make the required payments when it comes to the rents on time. Okay, so that's about real estate, guys. Apart from that, you also could, let's say, purchase a land, invest in a nice piece of land and construct a building or shops, something commercial, which keeps bringing you money. Now, I'm not a big fan of buying land, holding onto it and then selling it after a few years. I just hate that theory and I hate that concept, because for me, doing something of that sort or something of that nature is like, making my money kind of dead. I mean, it's not going to grow. Your investment is just gonna stay stagnant, okay? And I mean, although the prices of land does appreciate, okay, on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis, but it is very important for you to continue to keep making passive income on a consistent basis, on a regular basis. So I would encourage you guys to do the same. If you do have a plot of land, if you do have a piece of property that is lying idle, make use of it, construct it. Think of something where you could, let's say, build, construct, and let's say bring value to the community or to the society wherever that property is. Let's say there are some traders who are looking for shops which they would like to rent out and start their small business, you know. Or let's say there are some who want to start a service business. They're looking for shops which they could rent out to. So it's going to be very helpful for such people. So think of ways by which you have money coming in every month or every week into your bank accounts. All right, so that's the key, guys, if you want to ensure that you invest in the right vehicles, in the right mediums. Now let's talk about fixed deposits. Okay, now fixed deposits is something which I love investing my money in. As I said in one of my previous videos, when I sit down with my accountant and I do the math and go through my profits for the financial year, I always make sure that there's a good chunk of money going into real estate investments. There's also a good chunk of money going into fixed deposit investments. So I always invest with banks that give me a minimum of 6 to 8% returns per year. All right, anything between 6 to 8%. Now you might say that okay, it's quite low, okay, it's too low, but that's fine, because as much as you want to be building up businesses aggressively, as much as you want to be making money aggressively, it's also very important that when it comes to investing, at times it is necessary that you take a conservative approach. All right, you want to make sure that you're investing in something safe, something secure, and something, you know, that's in the right hands. For example, let's say when it comes to fixed deposits, I always invest with government banks. Okay, I never invest with private banks. That's a very important point to consider, mainly considering the fact that, let's say, if a private bank decides to liquidate, what happens to your money? Okay, that's something which is very important, which that you guys need to think of. Okay, is your money safe? Is it going to be secure? However, in comparison to a private entity or to a private bank, a government bank is more safe and secure. And also do consider and go through the history of the bank. Now let's say, for example, if it's a bank that has been in business for 10 to 20 years, that means they've got a good reputation, they've got some solid clientele who seem to be helping the bank not just to make money, but also they continuously keep coming back to the bank and keep making investments. All right, and also do take advice or do take suggestions from some of your friends, all right, when it comes to banks where they have invested their money in fixed deposits. That's what I've done before I started investing my money in fixed deposit account, because initially I wasn't a big fan of it, but after doing my research and also through experience, I realized that it's very important to keep aside a significant amount of money in fixed deposit accounts as well, so that it brings you that passive income. Now, the good thing about banks here in India is that it gives you options of, they give you options of payouts when it comes to the interest on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, and yearly basis. So whatever you guys are comfortable with, you can decide. Okay, and if you do want to know what are some of the great banks, do send me an email and I could send you a nice compiled list of banks that I've been using, and also some of my business associates have been using over the years. Okay, and if required, we could even put you in touch with the respective bank managers. Okay, now when it comes to the banks in America, we normally prefer to invest our money with hedge funds. Okay, there's a very good concept with Bank of America has, where they recommend and suggest you some really good companies with whom you can go and invest your money in hedge funds. Okay, but again, as I was saying earlier, just make sure that the interest percentage is something reasonable. Okay, something between 6 to 8%, or if it's slightly more than that, that's fine, as long as it is fixed. Okay, that's very important. So spoke about real estate, spoke about fixed deposits, agro farming. I've already spoken about this in some of my previous videos. It doesn't matter what the investment is, just make sure that your payouts are on time, payouts are being made by a reputed company that has been in business for many years. Make sure there are proper contracts between you and the company with whom you are making the investments. Okay, and also do get some references before you go and invest your money in these sort of entities. Okay, so that was about investing, guys. Investing is very important because not only is it necessary to keep making sure that your money continues growing, but it's also a good way to secure yourself. Let's be practical, okay, as entrepreneurs, as businessmen or businesswomen. If there comes a day, God forbid, for some reason or the other, your businesses crash, okay, or something unforeseen happens, and you just realize that you've got nothing. Do you want to wait for that day? No, right? So you have to understand why investing is very important. Okay, investing is important because not only does it secure you, but it also gives you that cash flow which can take care of you or your lifestyle, irrespective of the fact you have your businesses or not. Okay, provided you make sure you have good number of investments, provided you have good amounts of money that has been invested, so that it brings you that cash flow which can allow you to live the lifestyle of your choice. For example, in a city like Mumbai, if you want to have a good life, I would say bringing in passive income of, let's say, $8,000 to $12,000 per month would be superb. It would be fantastic. It would give you a very good life out here. So that has to be your goal. So if $10,000 to $12,000 per month, and let's put it in a way where you get this amount on a fixed basis, okay, then you have to think, okay, how much money or how much investments I need to be having so that I have this much amount of money coming into my bank account on a fixed basis. No matter what happens, businesses are different. It can fluctuate. There could be a month where you made $6,000, and that could be a month where you made $12,000. But with investments, look for deals, look for assets, look for ventures, look for companies, banks, look for real estate projects where you know that you can get a fixed sum of money every month. Okay, so that's how you got to do your planning. Let's talk now about savings. If I had $1 million in my account, all right, do you think I'm going to leave that $1 million in my account just like that and let the bank make money out of it? Absolutely not. Any wise or smart entrepreneur or investor, let's talk from an investor's perspective, knows the fact that banks are making more money with his money that's being deposited in his respective account. All right. Now, I'm not saying that savings isn't important. Don't get me wrong. You need to have a good amount of savings in your account as well. My way of calculating and doing the math is to keep at least 6 months of your basic savings in the bank. Let's say, for example, you know that your basic monthly expenses in a month comes about, let's say, about $5,000 to $6,000. Okay, so multiply that into 6. Okay, you gotta have that much amount of money which will be kept in your bank. Right, so that's how you gotta do the math, guys. Okay, 6 months of savings in your bank account. Whatever is extra, make sure you invest it in the right vehicles. Now, what is it? I've already given you some classic examples, but it's your job to go out there and do the due diligence, okay, and invest with a vehicle that you feel comfortable with. That has to be your objective. So not only in a way do you secure yourself, you know, at the back of your mind, I mean, you can have a good sleep in the night that, okay, you got enough savings in your bank account, and at the same time you got good amount of investments as well, which keeps bringing in money into your current account on a monthly basis. Okay, and once that money comes, again, you have to be pragmatic, you have to be frugal in the way how you manage your expenses, savings, and investments. So I wouldn't tell you that you shouldn't be having savings in your bank account. You should have savings. You definitely must have savings. And if you don't have, you should build a habit of saving money. Okay, so keep this very important point in mind. 6 months of savings, you should always have that. That has to be like, let's say, like in as per the business jargon that we use, like in the shops and the businesses that I have, we always have a float. Okay, it could be, let's say, 2,000 dirhams or 5,000 dirhams of float. So when it comes to your savings, it should have a float of your 6 months of basic expenses, you know, that should be saved up and kept in your respective bank account. So make it a point, guys, that you ensure you not only continue saving money, but also you continue investing money. Okay, this has to be a habit which you have to inculcate, and not just within yourself. I mean, if you have kids at home that are growing up, that are watching you, that are learning from you, educate them as well. You know, make it a point that they learn from you. I mean, I don't have kids, but this is something which I learned from my dad, from my uncles, and realized that it's always important to not just save money, but it's also important to keep investing your money. All right, so that was it, guys. That was a video about saving and investing. Hope this video gave you some value, and if it did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you didn't like, it's fine, give it a dislike as well. All right, and if you do have any questions, wanna speak to me, wanna get in touch with me, email me your concerns, email me your questions. And if you're still thinking of getting started with a business and haven't started anything yet, then get started with Kindle Publishing Business, and the best course that can teach you is Kindle Income Academy. I'm going to be putting the link below. Check it out. Want to have a strategy call? Have a strategy call with my sales manager, Jack. And if you want to have a word with me directly, the maximum I can give you would be, let's say, 15 to 30 minutes. If you want to have further discussions after you have your call with Jack. All right. That's it for me, guys. You take care. God bless. Stay safe.